What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Just Grow It, the podcast, where if you listen to this podcast, I guarantee that you will have better harvest and be a better gardener within 1 year. I'm your host, Big City Gardener, and today we are talking about pollinators and the importance of pollinators in our garden space, and not just our garden space, the entire world. So pollinating insects play a vital role in our entire life in the world that we live in. What a lot of people don't realize is that 1 out of every 3 of the bites of food that you take today, you have a pollinator to thank for that. As a matter of fact, more than 90% of the world's plants require pollination. So, what exactly is pollination? Pollination is the act of pollinating, which is moving the male reproductive parts of the plant and having them come in contact with the female reproductive parts of the plant. So, once that occurs, then the fruit, the nuts, the flower, whatever it may be, is able to be formed. Now, pollination does not necessarily need pollinators for it to occur. Some plants are self-pollinating, and other plants are pollinated by wind or water. But, like I said, more than 90% of the world's plants require pollination. And guess what? Pollinators do most of that work. Now, when it comes to pollinators, most people think about honeybees. But if we only think about honeybees, we're forgetting a majority of the pollinators. Honeybees are just one. Let's not forget about ants, butterflies, flies, even birds. Now, that is not an all-inclusive list. Even things like small mammals are able to pollinate many plants across the world. Pollinators are mostly responsible for that $5 billion agriculture industry that is alive and thriving here in America. Now, most times we think about the outcome. We think about the fruits and vegetables that we receive from pollination. But what about all of the other facets that we pay no attention to? Pollinators are also directly responsible for more than 50% of the world's cooking oil. Think about it. Grapeseed oil needs a pollinator. Sunflower oil, olive oil, canola oil, and many other oils all require pollination and rely on pollinators to do this job. Pollinators help us to sustain our ecosystem. They pollinate the plants that help clean the air. They even pollinate those big trees that help protect us from severe weather storms. The simple act of pollination helps plants reproduce, and that in turn helps stop things like soil erosion. I think it's safe to say that we understand the importance of pollinators. Unfortunately, there has been a decline in the population of a majority of pollinators. Now, there's many different reasons why this is happening, and it's hard to pinpoint one, but I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I think the pollinator population is declining. First, monocrop large agriculture. Monocrop large agriculture is whenever a large-scale farm produces one type of fruit or vegetable only. The lack of biodiversity in the different types of pollen is directly related to the declining population of our pollinators. So, how can we combat this? Well, we can support our local farmers who are not practicing monocropping, who have biodiverse organic farms that help support healthy pollinator populations. Second, cities are getting larger and larger. And as our cities expand and get bigger, we now move into areas that used to once house pollinators. So, as our cities expand, what we need to do is make sure that we are replacing the lands that we are destroying. So, plant as many gardens, flowers, wherever you can. On rooftops and street medians, wherever you can, put some plants out for pollinators. And the third and final reason why I think that pollinator numbers are declining is the use of synthetic chemical insecticides. In the past 50 or 60 years, the number of people who use these chemicals and these insecticides have increased rapidly. Now, oftentimes people do not actually pay attention to what they are spraying. people don't know the difference between a garden pest and a garden friend. So oftentimes we are killing off the pollinators by simply applying these insecticides to our garden. A simple way to combat this is to make sure, one, you identify the difference between a good bug and a bad bug. Two, try organic methods before you go to the synthetic insecticides. Three, focus on increasing the amount of diversity and the health of your soil. Healthier soil means healthier plants. Healthier plants are less likely to be attacked and bothered by pests. And before you reach for that synthetic insecticide, why don't you try making your own homemade pest repellents or insect remedies? Look, man, I just know one thing. If we do not turn around and pay more attention to the pollinators, the world that we are used to seeing and the world that we are used to living in will be drastically changed forever. So I'm pledging to plant as many pollinator-friendly plants as I can throughout my gardens and any garden that I'm associated with, and I'm calling on you to do the same. That's it for this week, where we talked about the importance of pollinators and what we can do to help pollinators thrive and survive. I'm Big City Gardener, but before I let you go, I need you to do one thing. I need for you to like this episode and share it with as many people as you can. I won't get mad. Trust me. Tell a friend, tell two, tell 10. Doesn't matter to me. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, you know what I need you to do. Go outside, get your hands in the dirt, and do what the hoodie says. Just grow it. Before I let you go, I need you to do more than one thing. First, I need you to like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Second, I need you to tell a friend or two about the show if you enjoyed it. And if you have anybody you think I need to talk to, I should interview, send the name over, put it in the comments, or send me an email, igrow@BigCityGardener. And check me out, man, on Instagram and on all social media platforms, Big City Gardener. We out. Oh, almost forgot. Just grow it.